Hello there, sports gamers. Welcome on back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite. For weeks now, we've been speculating on who would be on the cover of MLB The Show 26. Even this week, STS came out and they teased it a little bit as they put out this announcement saying there would not be a new cover athlete for MLB The Show 26. Well, today the cover was revealed, and as we expected, it is a returning cover athlete. We also got our first bit of news on what systems the game will be coming to, when the game will be releasing, and when pre-orders will go live. There's a lot to go over here in this video. Before we get into it, if you like our news videos, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. With all that out of the way, let's get into it.
Sports Gamers Online is the #1 source for the sports gamer.
All right, so there you have it, guys. Aaron Judge is back on the cover of MLB The Show for MLB The Show 26. He, of course, was on the cover of MLB The Show 18 following his incredible rookie season. And after this year, which, I mean, you could argue was one of the best years of his career, which is kind of crazy to say considering what he did in 22 and 24, now in 25. His third AL MVP award, put up a 1.144 OPS, I want to say, and almost 10 WAR. His third AL MVP award. I mean, just he's had an incredible career as a Yankees fan. It's awesome to see him back on the cover, and it's also awesome to see him in the Team USA uniform and with the World Baseball Classic on the cover. Of course, the World Baseball Classic will be kicking off here in a couple of weeks, so it's nice to see that on the cover of the game, and we'll have some news about the WBC being in this year's game later on in this video. Little article that MLB The Show put out announcing that Judge is back on the cover, and again you see Judge here in the Team USA uniform, and it talks about his journey has taken him from high school to college, then the minors to the majors, and on to the world stage. One thing I thought was really interesting is it says here, it's talking about Aaron Judge here, it says his journey has taken him from high school to college, the minors, the majors, and then onto the world stage. We've mirrored the same journey in our game, striving to create the most authentic MLB experience outside of actually being on the field. So if you saw my last news video for MLB The Show 26, we saw that in one of the earlier articles that STS put out with a little bit of teaser information for 26, it did say that Road to the Show this year would have an emphasis on the mid to late career. So maybe this outside of actually being on the field could be a bit of a tease at that. That's just sort of what I read into it. It could be absolutely nothing to do with that. It could be something completely different, but that's just kind of what I read into there with that little part of that. And as you go on down, they have the big, trailer and everything, which you can go watch and all that. They did say that the official gameplay trailer will be dropping next week on February 3rd. They also announced that is when pre-orders for both the standard and digital deluxe editions will open. Those are going to be the only two editions this year. There will not be, a big collector's edition like they've done in the past. They did that last year as well. They only had your standard and your digital deluxe editions. Also this year, Digital Deluxe Edition will once again come with the 4 days of early access. The release date, the official release date, is March 17th. So if you get the early access, you'll begin playing on March 13th. And then we did see the systems the game is coming to is PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch 1. So the game will not have a dedicated Switch 2 version. A little bit more on that later on here in the video. And as we can see from the cover, the World Baseball Classic is returning to Diamond Dynasty, it says. So there's no info yet on if it's going to be coming outside of Diamond Dynasty. But it says this year's cover features Aaron Judge in his Team USA WBC uniform. Stay tuned to learn more about what this means for Diamond Dynasty in the Show 26. Now, I played MLB The Show 23 when the World Baseball Classic was going on, and there was a lot of WBC content in that game in Diamond Dynasty, but it wasn't anywhere else. So I would like to see it expanded upon, have a full WBC mode, be able to, play the WBC in franchise mode. I know in Out of the Park Baseball 26 last year, a game that I reviewed for the website, they added the WBC, so you could be the manager of Team USA or Team Japan, and you could pick your team from the available players, and you could actually go play the tournament. I think that would be an awesome addition to MLB The Show if they were able to do that. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I don't know if that's actually going to be something that's added this year. All we know is that it will be coming to Diamond Dynasty, most likely in a similar content format to what we saw in MLB The Show 23. Homage in making a bunch of MLB The Show merch, which you can purchase, all these t-shirts at the link there. And they say here, we'll keep the action coming with regular updates. Keep an eye out for the gameplay reveal next week, weekly feature reveals, feature trailer deep dives, updates on the different editions. And this was something interesting I saw someone point out on Twitter, a new pre-order loyalty discount. I have no clue what that means. I'm sure we'll find out more in the weeks to come, but I'm not sure exactly if that means you'll get a discount for pre-ordering, or if you've previously pre-ordered or something like that. I'm not entirely certain what that means. Also, with the update of the cover reveal, they did update the frequently asked questions page, which is always a good source for a little bit extra information. And here are some things that I thought were really interesting. They say the early access will officially start at 12 a.m. Eastern time on March 13th. So there won't be like regional rollouts like I know NBA 2K does, where if you're on an Xbox, you can switch your region to New Zealand in order to be able to play the game early. No, it's a worldwide release at 12 a.m. Eastern time, Friday, March 13th. So that's when we will all start playing for the first time if we have the Digital Deluxe Edition in the early access. Otherwise, you'll start playing on the 17th. Will there be a collector's edition? There is no physical collector's edition this year. What platforms is the game available for? It says PS5, Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch. The Switch version of the game is compatible with both the Switch and the Switch 2. They do talk about the Switch a little bit more down here. Will there be an additional download if I buy the cartridge? They say yes, so this will likely be one of the game key cards where even when you put the game into your Switch, you still have to have an internet connection and do a download before you're able to actually play the game. Will there be a Switch 2 specific version of the Show 26? It says no, it's available on Series X and Switch. I think they just left out PS5 because it's also available there. But the Switch version of the game is compatible with the Switch 2 system, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be a dedicated Switch 2 version. There will not be a tech test this year. Stadium Creator, again, is only supported on PS5 and Series X. Cross progression will be available across all three systems. Cross-play will also be available in applicable modes across all the systems. There will be no year-to-year save, so that was a big feature back on the PS4 for MLB The Show, and sadly it has not returned again for another year. Will custom logos and rosters transfer from 25 to 26? So this is something interesting. Custom logos that are uploaded to the vault will be available when 26 launches, but rosters will not transfer. When this page first went live, it said that logos and rosters would transfer, and there was a bit of confusion there. The rosters that are in the roster vault will not transfer from 25 to 26, but custom logos will. Custom stadiums also will not transfer. Now, in the past, the custom stadiums have transferred over, but in MLB The Show 26, it's going to be a fresh stadium vault. They did have to disable custom stadiums within online play in MLB The Show 25, and I figured this is a part of bringing those back to where they are able to be used within competitive modes once again. So they had to basically get rid of all of them that were in the vault, and they probably made some changes on the back end that won't allow the ones from 25 and before to be compatible with these changes that they are likely making for 26. So there you have it, guys. That's what we know so far about MLB The Show 26. Aaron Judge, again, is officially back on the cover, and as a Yankees fan, I am very excited for that. And this is just the beginning of MLB The Show new season. This is my busy season, so I hope you like me because you're going to see me a lot here on the channel and, of course, on the website as well in the weeks to come. I'll be back for all of the streams and the feature reveals and all of that, covering this game until it launches. And then, of course, I'll be doing the review once the game does come out. So if you enjoy my news coverage and you enjoy MLB The Show here on Sports Gamers Online, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future updates. And let me know down in the comments, what are you most excited for with MLB The Show 26? And do you think Aaron Judge was a good choice to return as the cover athlete. Let me know down in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.